But where I do give Mark credit is the confidence that he instilled in us to be okay with being us. The confidence that he instilled in Steph to be like I can remember vividly conversations with him like, nah, dude, you the baddest dude on the planet. This is before Steph Curry's an all-star.
Bro, he said Steph and Klay were the best shooting backcourt. We all was like, is he crazy?
What's wrong with you?
Everybody, though.
Absolutely. We're in meetings, we're in the locker room, we're in practice. And he's like, dude, you're the baddest dude on the planet. And I'm just sitting there like, this dude's really telling him he's the baddest dude on the planet.
Right.
Klay Thompson, like, Klay has no conscience. Most coaches would have essentially forced him to have a conscience.
For sure.
Mark Jackson fed that like, no, dude, you don't think, shoot. Like, what are you thinking about? Shoot the ball.
Right.
And so what Mark instilled in us allowed us to become.
Some of y'all ain't gonna like this one. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. Some of y'all ain't gonna like this one, man. That was high-level coaching. That's high-level coaching. That's what that is. You know, learning who your team is, knowing who your team is, knowing who your personality is.
They are the greatest shooting backcourt that's ever played this game.
And creating environments where they can be successful. And, you know, Mark Jackson, you tricked your career off. You tricked your career off, you know, trying to come into the place of business and making it yours. You know, the scripture tells us, be as shrewd as a snake and as pure as a dove. You didn't try to do that. You try to be as shrewd as a dove. It ain't gonna work like that. You gotta understand how to play the game. You gotta understand how to navigate. You gotta understand how to really work these rooms. That's a skill. And the only way you can do that is through authenticity and transparency at all times. And understanding that we all come from all walks of life and, you know, we're all God's people. And when you do that, you can see the value in treating everyone with respect, no matter what, and being respectful to how they feel about things, how they think about things, and all that. And I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But I do know the stuff that Mark Jackson, you've done since. And this ain't a video to slander you. It's not. But the fact that you were this talented as a coach, the rumor is now that you're going to be doing a podcast with Mason Cameron. Mark Jackson ain't the first one that this happens to, and it ain't going to be the last. I'm going to give y'all 3 ways that you can avoid this as a coach or any basketball executive or just anybody in business, period. But before I do that, I need y'all to click like. I need y'all to click share. Send this video to somebody. I need y'all to comment inside the comments about things I'm commenting on throughout the video. There's also on YouTube, it's a thing called Super Thanks. So you can give me money right now. So yeah, send me $10 right now. Click the Super Thanks, send it right now. And make sure you watch the entire video. And make sure if you new, you subscribe to the channel and tell somebody else to subscribe to the channel right now.
My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond.
My name is Coach Duck from Group82Basketball.com, and right here we got Draymond Green exposing what Mark Jackson did. Let's get right to it. Number 1, you got to protect your business partners. You know, this is going to be one of my coaching philosophies. Like, my coaching philosophies on what I'm building my program on when I become a coach, a head coach, is number 1 is we're building patriarchs through the game of basketball. Number 2, we're going to be educated. We're going to be the smartest team in the league, the smartest team in the NBA. Number 3, we're going to play legally physical. We're going to condition the refs to adjust to us and how we play our style of play and what we do. We're going to get a lot of fouls, and we're going to be legally physical. You're all within the rules. It's going to be a toughness that's going to have with my team. And the 4th is we're going to protect our business partners. And our business partners in the NBA, they're not just the governors. They're not just the sponsors. They're not just the people that you see every single day walking the hallways. You know, it's the players as well. It's the coaches as well. We're all a brand. All of us in this locker room. We're a brand. I got my followers and my deals and my agency. You got your followers and your deal and your agency and your agent and your talent manager and your finance. And we all brands under the umbrella of basketball. We have to protect each other's interests. There are things that I'm not going to be able to do and I'm not going to be able to say because I am attached to a team. I am attached to an organization now. I have to protect other people's interests. So although I might feel a certain way about something, it is not fair to the people whose interests that I am here to protect to say those things. If I want to say and do those things, you need to go back to Dorian Group 82, who was doing the music marketing content. You had your own business. It was making all that money. So if you want to be able to speak like that and act like that, then you got to do that on your own thing. But when you decide to join a team, no matter what that is, you got to protect your business partners. And that's just not protecting them off the court with your behavior. It's on the court too. Getting technical fouls, that ain't protecting us. What are you proving with that? Ain't no ref gonna rescind that. You cost us points and the possession, and you eventually gonna cost yourself some money. Goes the same for coaches too. What am I getting technical fouls for? There's no real reason. Number 2, you got to encourage creativity. The worst thing that a teacher can do in any aspect of teaching or any field of endeavor is you have to make sure that you are encouraging creativity. You know, we all learn different. We all see different. We all process these things different. And we all can get to the same outcome, but we're going to have to do it our way. And the problem is too many people are always judging other people's journeys and other people's ways. It's all proprietary. And when basketball is the exact same thing. Some dudes are kinesthetic learners. They got to touch it. Some dudes are auditory learners. They got to hear it. Some dudes are visual learners. They got to see it. However they process the information, as a coach, you have to figure out, how does this dude receive info? Is he a guy that's exceptionally smart and he's an autodidactic, like he can teach himself? Or is he a guy, you know, that he always had to have somebody next to him and walking him through and explaining it? Or maybe he learns through video games. You know, that's something I'm gonna introduce to when I become an NBA coach is, you know, we're gonna have our playbook in 2K. So when they at home playing with themselves, Pauls, you know, they're actually using our plays and doing everything. And when it's time to teach new concepts, like, how can you not put it inside of 2K? This is what they do. You know, you have to be able to reach them. Then once you reach them, now you can encourage creativity. How do you see this? How do you shoot the ball? Now that I've teaching you everything that you need to do, everyone knows that a shot starts at your feet. And I don't know why on the scouting videos, y'all keep writing the comments about your feet don't have to be square and they don't have to be aligned to the basket. Who taught y'all how to shoot, man? Like, this is a problem. Like, everyone knows your shot starts with your feet. Now, the way the basketball goes, no, your feet are not going to be aligned all the time. They're not going to be square all the time. But if you have time, why would you not do that? This is why y'all can't shoot. It looks like y'all can shoot because y'all shoot so many shots. Y'all allowed to take 14, 15, 16, 18 threes now. But y'all be going 6 to 18 and think you had a good night. Bro, you missed 12 threes. Anyways, you got to encourage creativity. And like Mark Jackson, let Steph know, let Clay know, Draymond too. And Steve Kerr compounded on that. The way that Steph Curry is on offense, that's how Draymond Green is on their defense. The way they let Steph roam and create and they all adjust to him, it's the same with Draymond. Like, he's the one taking a calculated risk, you know, and everybody's rotations is based on what Draymond does. When you can do that as a coach, get them ownership where they are now creative with it, man, they're going to listen to whatever it is that you got to say. Number 3, human beings aren't logical, they're emotional. This is something that applies in all aspects of life, and I don't know why people act like that human beings are logical and consistent and disciplined like a computer. You know, every time that you turn on your computer, what the sound's gonna be when you gotta log in, you know, what's gonna pop up on the screen, and if it doesn't do that the way that you're used to it doing that, then something's gonna be wrong with it. We all use our computers, we all use our phones. It is a device, so it's very consistent for us. Humans are not like that. Humans ain't consistent at all. And as a coach, you got to understand that. It doesn't matter what system you implement. It doesn't matter how you're holding them accountable. It doesn't matter what you said to them, how long you have coached them. These are human beings. They're emotional. And this is a game that encourages them being emotional. It's rooted in when they were a child, around their family, around their friends. You know, like, some of their greatest memories are all attached to basketball. This is the highest level. This is the NBA. All of these men are patriarchs. And basketball is reason for it. There's a lot of emotion tied to this. As a coach, you have to be able to understand how to navigate these men's emotion. Some people you got to be gentle with. I don't care all that yelling and all that talking them crazy and being cold. Bro, if you ain't got that ability to speak to him as you would speak to your daughter, it ain't gonna work. Because some men need to be spoken to like how a good father speaks to his daughter. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just how he receives information. Some dudes, you gotta get nasty with him. Pause. But you do. That's how he receives information. And as a coach, it's up to you to figure that out. That's a part of your job, knowing that. And that comes from actually knowing them, having conversations with them, hanging out with them, not being corny, not being lame, being prepared, being direct, being transparent, being authentic, being real. That's all players want. Somebody that's going to be real with them because everybody lying to them. So when you a coach and you can do that, and you start understanding their emotions over the logic, it allows you to have a lot more grace for the players, allows you to have a lot more mercy for the players, and they see how forgiving you are while simultaneously being fair, and it makes them want to basically listen to anything that you got to say, and it makes them feel closer and attached to that team. And the greatest thing about those relationships is they just don't last while you coach them. They last after the fact too. And now you end up becoming friends with your players. Like Chris Wilkes, to this day, like Chris is what, 14, 15 years behind me, something like that. Like, he one of my best friends, and I was coaching him when he was in 8th grade. That's how a coach-player relationship is supposed to be in my mind. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think Mark Jackson got a raw deal? Do you think he was a great coach? What's the difference between him and Steve Kerr? Do you think Mark Jackson would have been able to get 4 championships, maybe more? Would Draymond be Draymond under Mark Jackson like he was under Steve Kerr? You know, Mark Jackson was playing David Lee, Andrew Bogut. Y'all let me know in the comments below. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm out the pond. Y'all stay true.
Easter Sunday, gotta call my uncle.